The world is filled with some pretty incredible people, especially when you see them at work. When you do the same job day in, day out, needless to say, you're probably gonna get quite good at it. But some people are just next level talented. From skilled construction workers to downright creative staff, here are 15 amazing workers with gifted hands. Number 15. Satisfying sights. Art comes in all shapes and forms, and sometimes the art form is not only in the finished product, but the method in which you created it. This artist doesn't use paintbrushes and easels, nor does he use his hands at all. Yet the finished product is one you'd see at an art exhibit or for sale for hundreds of dollars. The artist covers an area outside with plastic to protect it, then lays down his artist board. He then drills a hole in a paint tin and suspends it from a rope above the board. With one accurate and swift move, he sets the paint can spinning so that it drips paint onto the board in a succinct pattern. You might think that all he's doing is creating a mess, but that's not the case at all. He manages to create a brilliant and perfectly formed spirograph pattern, and all without using his hands. Once he gets to the end of the pattern, after several near-perfect lines to the center, he gently but quickly removes the paint tin from the artwork so that it can't create any more lines. The finished product is incredible and surprising. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Now it's time for the star topic. This amazing tree shapeshifter has the hands of a gifted god. He starts with a rather untidy, unruly tree, then shapes it into a picture-perfect ball without a single branch or twig out of place. He even manages to curve the tree from top to bottom perfectly. Doesn't this look so satisfying? Comment down below with the hashtag StarTopic and let us know your opinion in relation to what we just showed on screen. With that said, let's keep things moving. Number 14. Amazing workers with gifted hands. Have you ever taken a bucket and spade to the beach to create the most epic sandcastle anyone has ever made? Well, we hate to break it to you, but you're probably not gonna do a better job than these skilled people. They really do have gifted hands. In a sand modeling exhibit of some kind, they managed to form unique sculptures using just their hands, imagination, and a few tools. They come prepared with everything from brushes to spoons and concrete equipment, and manage to craft works of art that look like they're machine manufactured. From a mermaid so detailed you can even see her ribs, to a man in a race car with a face full of expression, it's hard to deny how much talent these people have. There's even a fully formed pride of lions, a horse, and a Native American sculpture with feather and tassel detailing. Many hours of work have gone into these sculptures, but the good news is they surely would have started just like many of us, with buckets and spades at the beach. It's never too late to give it a go yourself. Number 13. Genius workers. Do you ever look at decorations around your home or furniture and wonder how it was made and who made it? Well, it might just be these genius workers. This glassblower not only creates a beautiful vase, but he manages to add small details around the top to make it even better. The best part is that the little additions are entirely symmetrical on both sides, even though he makes them at different times and can't see one while forming the other. This beautiful piece is probably sitting in someone's home right about now. And you would be pretty lucky to have this beautiful piece of furniture in your home as well. It has been entirely upholstered by hand, but the precision of it makes it look like a machine has done it. This clever guy upholsters the furniture into a Chesterfield sofa pattern. His primary tool is a staple gun, which is perfect for attaching fabric to wood. He uses a pneumatic air-operated staple gun to attach the metal studs to the seams for the final touches. The result result is simply incredible. He doesn't even use a ruler or measuring tool. Still, he manages to create an entirely even and symmetrical piece of furniture that would suit any high-end home. Number 12. Workers with gifted hands. Technology's come a long way in recent years. Tasks that we would have had to do by hand now can be done with the help of machines and technologically advanced processes. This speeds up the job, saves back-breaking labor, and ends up making it more cost-effective too. Take, for example, this massive stone lifting machine. Rather than lay pavers by hand and hope they are perfect, this one machine grabs a whole heap at once and puts them neatly in place. This guy then comes along with a handheld stone grabber and puts the last few pavers in place. He doesn't have to bend down and worry about back-breaking labor. You can even save time when it comes to painting motorcycle parts, helmets, and similar. Rather than spend hours spraying and painting a design onto a piece by hand, you can use a process called hydro dipping or water transfer printing. This involves applying printed designs to three-dimensional surfaces. You add polyvinyl alcohol hydrographic film with a graphic image onto the water surface in a dipping tank. The clear film dissolves after you apply an activator solution. You can then slowly dip the part into the pattern, which adheres to the part's curves. The whole process is amazing. Number 11. Amazing construction worker. When you compare homes and structures built today to those made hundreds of years ago, it's clear to see there are a lot of differences. It's sure, many of the building practices have gotten better, but something is often missing: the attention to detail. You rarely see beautiful detailing in places where construction workers used to take so much pride. The goal now is to make sure you can build a home fast enough and safe enough for the new owners to move in. So, when we see new detailing and designs being applied anywhere, we become quite intrigued. This skill set may not be dead after all. Take this delicate concrete work, for example. This skilled worker uses a variety of tools to shape beautiful patterns on a concrete wall. He spends so much time making sure they're smooth and even, and then delicately brushes them to remove rough parts before finishing the entire look with a beautiful color-enhancing coating. It takes an exceptional, dedicated worker with immense patience to pull something like this off. And now, people walking past it get to admire his handiwork for years to come. Number 10. Satisfying job. Hey guys, how many times have you woken up in the morning, shaved your face, then had to cover it in bits of tissue to stop all the nicks and cuts from bleeding? Shaving and haircuts are not everyone's cup of tea, but this guy sure has it down to a fine art. He manages to cut through hair like a knife through hot butter with what looks to be an incredibly sharp blade. The hair just falls away, both on the head and face. If you ever needed a clean shave with no leftover hair tufts or cuts, then you'd probably want to see this guy. And he doesn't just do maintenance to make sure you can go to work without that shadow on your face. He's an artist of sorts, creating shapes and giving people unique haircuts and facial hair that makes them stand out. I'm wondering, and I'm sure you are too, just how long it took for this guy to master his talents. How many faces did he nick and cut, and how many bad haircuts did he do before he got this good? Number 9. Skilled construction worker. You might think that laying down gravel on a driveway is as simple as dumping it on, packing it down, and that's the job done. But this skilled construction worker shows that there's actually a lot more to it. It's clear to see this rural driveway is in need of some changes. It's muddy, hard to drive on, and makes it nearly impossible to own a clean car. So this construction worker lays down a ground grid paver product and nails it into place to stop it from moving around. The goal of this product is to reduce the instances of potholes and stop the gravel from moving around so much. Once all the gridding materials are in place, he lays down small gravel stones down the entire driveway before applying larger ones on top. He then adds edging to stop the gravel from reaching the grass and becoming a nightmare for lawn mowing. I'll be the first to admit that I had no idea how much work and talent was involved in laying a gravel driveway. The finished result is incredible. Number 8. Workers with gifted hands. You might think that much of the detailed artwork we see today is produced by machine. After all, we've got the technology to ensure precision, so why do we even need our hands anymore? If this skilled worker's anything to go by, we still need our talented workers who can do almost anything by hand. Rather than use machines to produce this beautiful piece of art on a wall, this man relies entirely on a few handheld tools, a bit of string, and concrete. He manages to etch in the details he needs, then uses string to make precise lines where he needs them. Once he makes light cuts in the material,
To create perfect circles, this man uses nails and a thread.
he slices away the excess to form a perfect etch. The detailing in his work is unbelievable, with intricate flowers and patterns. Once he has the groundwork laid, he gets to work, bringing the artwork to life with curves, characters, and intense detailing. Once he's finished, it hardly looks like it's been created by hand at all. Instead, it looks like a computer-generated template has been used. Number 7. Masters of Detail. If you were to give most of us a piece of wood and a few woodworking tools, the results would be varied. Some people would end up in the emergency room, others would fashion some kind of box, and then there would be those who actually created something special. This guy fits into that last category. If you give this guy some wood, he manages to turn it into something unbelievable, something that you wouldn't even think could be made out of wood in the first place. He starts off with a regular piece of wood with all the dimensions he needs to create something massive. With chisels and other precision woodworking tools, he slowly chips away and crafts a beautiful dragon. But it's the detailing of the dragon that'll amaze you. Every line, every crease, and every mark in the wood has its place. We hate to think just how many hours went into this creation, but we're sure it would be several hundred. Still, totally worth it when you see the finished product. Just look how amazing it is. Number 6. Perfectionists of their trade. When you try something for the first time, you're never that good at it. Even after trying it a dozen times, you're still not the best you can be. And that's what practice is all about. Trying something over and over again until you become a master of your trade. It's a bit more complicated in surgery, of course. But this guy manages to create a hole in a golf green, then repair it so that it looks like the hole was never there to begin with. That takes a truly skilled worker. Or the firefighter who, for obvious reasons, needs to be fast and accurate. He's practicing his rope tying skills and manages to tie a knot by making use of momentum rather than his hands. Then there's the tattoo artist who turns an already awesome tat into a true masterpiece. He adds white to a tattoo in just the right places to make sure the pirate's face has the illusion of sweat or oil in the sunshine. It's truly remarkable how he manages to pull that off, because it's not like he has a second shot at it if he gets it wrong. Number 5. Fast and precise worker. Retreading is the process of adding new tread to a tire. It minimizes how much waste ends up in our landfills, it's affordable, and it's a process that's suitable for many tires, such as truck and trailer units. Have you ever seen those huge chunks of rubber on the side of the road as you've been driving along? That's old tread wearing off. The truck driver will then take that tire to someone to add a new tread layer instead of replacing an entire tire in most cases. But how does the process work? Well, this fast and precise worker makes it look easy. I'm sure if any novice tried it though, it would definitely take a lot longer. He prepares the tire by sanding down the old tread so that the new tread will stick to it better. He then etches out the tread and fills it to produce a smooth surface. Once that's ready, he cuts excess off the new tread and puts it in place on the tire. It fits perfectly, and he's able to hammer the tread down so that it sticks firmly to the old tire. The whole process seems to take no time at all. Number 4. Gifted workers. There's nothing quite like a beautiful stone floor. You're able to use what nature has given you, and it lasts a long time compared to some commercially prepared products. But when you see a stone floor, you might think it's easy to create. As it turns out, you need to be quite a gifted worker to master it. Take this guy, for example. He lays down the preparation materials, then has to find the right stones to place in the gaps. It's kind of like a puzzle, making sure the rocks are of the right shapes and sizes so that there aren't huge gaps between each of them. Once the stones are in place, that's not even the end of it. You then have to place your filling materials like grout over the top of all the stones, smooth them out, then wipe them off the stones. The reasoning for this is that you can make sure there are no gaps between the stones that could make it move around. I think it's pretty obvious that this guy's done this job before. The final product is pretty awesome. Number 3. Highly skilled workers. Technology has been a wonderful thing in the building industry. We can achieve so much without putting in all that much effort, but these highly skilled workers are proving that even if you have age-old techniques, you can still pull off some pretty impressive feats. Take these bricklayers, for example. You might think that rectangle bricks can only achieve rectangle results, but that's not the case. With clever use of blocks, bricks, and mortar, they create a curved wall with a massive opening. They are able to form that opening by placing temporary concrete blocks in the center, then paving bricks on top of them before removing those center blocks. You can even build functional, stylish concrete doors with minimal tools at your disposal. This beautiful door was built on a dirt floor with only a few hand tools and a lot of skill. They draw the lines by hand, then use a knife to remove the excess concrete they don't need. The amount of detail they can produce with accuracy by hand is simply incredible. Imagine what they could do with advanced tech. Number 2. Creative workers. Just because we have electricity and power tools doesn't mean we have to rely on them to build some amazing structures. After all, we've already got some amazing structures and they were built centuries ago. So in the middle of the French forest, a new castle is being built, but not in the way you think. Roof tile masters, stonemasons, blacksmiths, quarrymen, carpenters, and more got together to create this castle using technology and tools only available in the Middle Ages. They source their stone from a nearby quarry, then bring it back on a horse and cart. They even raise it on the walls using a wooden wheel. Their ropes are made from hemp, and they use lime and sand rather than modern cement. They expect the castle to be complete in 10 years, and it was already half finished by 2018. Just goes to show that just because we've got electricity and power tools, that doesn't mean we have to use them. It's worth retaining those old skill sets from many years ago in case we ever need to rely on them again. Number 1. Creative skilled workers. Your home is your sanctuary, so sometimes it can be worth investing in building techniques that are a little bit out of the ordinary. That way, your property doesn't look like someone else's. Still, you have to rely on some pretty creative people for out-of-the-box building techniques, like this guy. He mixes up small stones and glues them onto a partition wall and stairs. Rather than use straight concrete, carpet, or wood, he uses a textured effect that's really quite unique. The benefit of this type of material too is that it's grippy. There is minimal risk of slipping on the stairs. What's more, if you ever damage it, it's merely a case of adding more stones and it won't look out of place. To be honest, we're not exactly sure what this mixture is or what its name is, but we can't help but be impressed by how he mixes it, then applies it with such accuracy. It's also of a uniform color, which means you can easily tie in your contemporary home decor with this look. Imagine being as skilled and gifted as these amazing workers. They managed to make their job look so easy, but maybe you are that gifted. What job do you do that you think you're pretty good at? Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now. See you next time.